Hi everyone, my name is Suneiku, and you can call me Snake. This video is going to be talking about ways you can practice to improve in either Splatoon gameplay or just anything you're interested in improving in general. I'm making this because as Splatoon 3 is coming soon, a lot of people in Splatoon 2 are playing in order to get better and improve because they want to be ready for Splatoon 3, hit the ground running, try to be competitive. So that's what this video is to help with, finding ways for you to practice while being productive so that you can be ready for Splatoon 3 and be competitive in it right at the get-go. So a little info about me if you don't know me. I was a competitive player in Splatoon 2 for a little while, but more importantly, I am a musician in my personal life, and I went to school for music, both in undergrad and graduate school. I got degrees in both. If you don't know what that essentially means I spent my years in school practicing music, learning how to practice efficiently, and such like that. So I feel like those skills can carry over to Splatoon, as well as other creative interests you want to. Maybe not exactly, but there are a bunch of key points that could definitely help out. So this method of practicing has 5 key points, and they are points that need to be focused on and something you need to be very conscious of. The first one is set a goal. Second one is to do some research. The third one is to warm up. The fourth is to play the game, which is the active practice period. And then the last point is to review. And we'll go into detail in each section about what all of these mean. So the first one, set a goal, is fairly simple. You want to actively choose something that you want to improve on. And that can be from very, very general, you just want to be like the best Splatoon player ever. That's like the most general thing I can think of. Or it could be very small and specific, like I want to get better at substrafing, or I want to learn motion controls, something like that. So deciding on a goal to start with will be where we start off. Our second point is to do research. So once you have your goal set of what you want to accomplish during your practice session or overall practice, you want to do research and find things like videos, documents, people related to your goal, and try to observe things about them, such as if you have a favorite player that plays a weapon you want to get better at, you should watch them play the weapon or listen to them talk about playing the weapon, or watch videos about substrafing or movement skills that you want to accomplish, things like that. It's hard to do research for the overarching goal that we talked about, which was being the best Splatoon player. All you really can do for that is to just watch really great players that you like, people that inspire you, and try to take away from what they do in their gameplay. The third part, which gets into more active gameplay, is warming up. So the purpose of warming up is so that your hands and your mind are in a good place to try to practice and improve on the goals that you set. So warm-ups can be a variety of things depending on what you want to do to warm up. It can include movement, it can include shooting and aiming drills, things of that matter. Part of your research could be looking up practice drills that other players do to warm up, so you can take from that, or you can make up your own. Whatever you feel will help you get your hands moving, whatever you need to do. One key point that I want to make about warming up is that you don't want to do it for too long, because you end up just wasting time when you're probably already warmed up. So like if you're in this training room for, I'd say an hour, definitely, maybe 45 minutes is too long, maybe even 30 minutes. That's wasting time that you could just be moving on to your next step. So you don't want to warm up too long. Along with the training drills, it's not necessary to try to perfect them on your first time training. So I know there are a bunch of shooting drills for different weapons to hit all these targets super precisely, blah blah blah. But you don't need to do that if you're not used to these drills on your very first day. Just try to attempt them see what your hands are doing, if you need to adjust your motion. Think about how you're doing these drills and such. And then you'll be ready to go. Even if you can't do them perfectly, it's totally fine. It's just, we're just getting our hands moving to achieve, or to have more success achieving our main goal of our practice. So yeah, warming up is as simple as that. The fourth part, which is the part you've all probably been waiting for, is actually playing the game. So this is the point where you say, okay, I'm gonna go into my solo queue game, my league game, my salmon run or scrim or whatever, and this is where you actively try to apply like the research that you've done and all the warming up that you have your hands ready to try to achieve your goal. An important part about this, and I can't emphasize this enough, I haven't emphasized it at all, but I'm gonna say now, I can't emphasize this enough, that when you go into these games, the thing that you should be least focused on is winning. And that might sound strange, but here's the point. The point is that unless your goal that you set is winning games, you shouldn't be thinking about winning the game, because to do that, you will be straying away from your goal. Of course, it's okay to win games when you're trying to achieve your goal. And even if you play badly and win games, that's okay. You shouldn't feel ashamed for it. But I guess what I'm really saying is you should kind of anticipate to lose. Mainly because you're working on something that you're not comfortable with. So you shouldn't expect to be successful, as well as all the other factors getting in your way with trying to achieve this goal, such as your opponents, sometimes, or usually your teammates too. The main focus of this practice is to improve on the thing you want to improve on, dealing with the things that you can control. Maybe you can't control winning or losing, that's great. But at the core, you want to make sure that you're staying focused on the thing that you want to accomplish, even if it costs you a game or costs you 50 solo queue points, I don't know. At the end of the game, you want to ask yourself, win or lose, how did I do? How did I play? How did I do at achieving this goal I had? Like, how was my substrafing? Did I pick the right fights? Was I paying attention to my teammates being up or down? Something like that. That's what you want to focus on more than, oh my god, I can't believe we lost, or oh my god, a Neo Sploosh was just farming missiles all day. Like, that's not important. We're focusing on you and what you need to improve. It may seem a little selfish, and it definitely is, but in the long run, it will be better for you and your teammates if you are improving on this goal, even if it costs you guys the game. The final section for this, which is possibly the most important one, is reviewing your gameplay. So if you have a means to review your gameplay, as in like recording it or streaming it, that's awesome. If you don't, then, well, the Switch has clips, so maybe that's the best you can do. You can clip a situation that you thought went right or went wrong. Any way possible that you can just watch your video again, that will be good for reviewing. And this is like absolutely crucial, and I don't think enough players do this, whether it's with their teammates or just by themselves, however they're trying to improve with like a team or just in solo as an individual player. Reviewing what you do is important. And why is it important? It's important because just like having a coach have someone behind you watching what you do and how you're playing, you can do that without another coach, because that can be you. So you're taking a step back and observing things that you couldn't observe when you're in the heat of the moment, in the middle of a game, when it's like, I don't know, fight or flight, whatever you want to call it. Just when you're in a game, you're focused on certain things, hopefully your goal, and that doesn't give you time to focus on other things. Even within your goal, there might be some aspects of your goal you're not focusing on while you're playing the game. So it is important that you review and see what you do, and also important with a neutral perspective on things. You don't want to go in thinking, oh man, I'm terrible, man, I played so bad, blah blah blah, or oh man, I played so great, I have nothing to say about it. No, you want to be neutral, as if someone else is reviewing you while you're reviewing yourself and your own gameplay. This is also important because this is how we loop back all the way to the beginning of our process, which is set a goal, by asking ourselves, after reviewing, did I achieve this goal of mine? If not, what can I do to adjust my goals so that I can do better and achieve it next time? Or if you did achieve your goal, then you can say, okay, what's my next goal? And then you start the cycle all over again and you continue improving on stuff. If you don't improve at all, then maybe you need to just try your goal again another day, or maybe you need to tweak your goal or tweak some things like what you researched or how you warm up, stuff like that. It's just going to be a learning process to figure out what you yourself need to improve and achieve, and you don't necessarily need anyone else to tell you what to do. As much as outside input can be important, being able to self-evaluate yourself and your skill is equally as important, maybe even more so important. So again, reviewing, very crucial. Reviewing is the only way that you can continue the cycle of this process and make it work and continue improving and getting better. So again, just to give an overview of what we went through or discussed, our 5 points are: 1, set a goal for yourself, decide what you want to improve on. 2, do research on that goal, whether it's watching videos of your favorite players or asking people questions on how they can improve. 3, warming up. You want to make sure your hands are in a good, ideal spot so that you can successfully try to attempt to complete your goal. Step 4, actually playing the game, getting into the situations you want to improve on and working on those, making sure you stay focused. Again, that's key, focus. And number 5, reviewing your gameplay by recording it, seeing what you did, asking yourself how you can improve, as well as asking the ultimate question, did I achieve my goal? If not, how can I adjust my goal so I can achieve it? If you did, what's the next goal? Now, there are some details and concepts that I left out that I think are important for this process to work, and I want to explain them in separate videos. So if this topic does intrigue you, or if you're interested in learning more, please make sure to keep an eye out for those videos as well. I should post them soon, hopefully. But for now, this is the overall view of a practice method that you can use to hopefully help you improve and get you ready for either Splatoon 2 tournaments or even Splatoon 3, that if you want to continue playing Splatoon. And just a reminder, even if it doesn't apply to you for Splatoon, you can use some of these steps for other things, like practicing art or practicing music, of course, because I come from music, or maybe even practicing sports. And there's a lot of ways you can fit this in. So again, I hope you took something positive from this video. If you did, let me know. If you have any questions for me, you can find me on Twitter. My username is Suneiku with 3 U's. Or you can find me on Twitch streaming sometimes, as well as on YouTube where this is going to go up. So leave any questions or comments that you have, and I'll be happy to try to answer them for you. But until then, I will see you for the next video. Take care.